Howdy folks, it's Johan, your favorite little ink blob, back at it today with some Murders at Karlov Manor drafting. I love doing this, it's fun hopping online and streaming stuff I love, but man do they make beds comfortable and the real world not very, so still figuring out good ways to overcome that morning inertia, and we'll work on it. We'll get there. But for the meantime, quick little public service announcement. I always check the store every day because sometimes you get free gold or free gem days, and look at what we have here. It is a free gold day. I have not done the math on it, but I seem to recall a Reddit post pointing out that essentially because of the gem versus gold disparity, it's better to buy it with gems because it's doing a draft is not a 5x. Oh, it might be 1,500 to 10,000. Howdy, Cholera. How's it going? Just doing the... Yes, you are! Whereas, I took quite some time. But we're here, we're gonna draft. But yeah, so, free coin day, pick up the coins. And also, in case anyone else has not been following it, I haven't been following all of the clues, but folks did solve the ARG the other day. If you make a particular deck list with the way is open, there are a lot of articles out there that you can just copy-paste the list from. Name it the way is open, you get a little mail from Alquist Proft, and get 5,000 experience and some sleeves. So, highly recommend that. It's free on the table. Make sure to pick that up if you haven't already. But, all that said, let's refresh our quests, do a draft, and see whether or not I end up drafting once more blue-white detectives. Alrighty. Oh, we've actually got quick draft open. I didn't realize today was the first day of quick drafts for the new set. I'm going to be sticking with Premier Draft, but fantastic for the folks that are not as confident nor comfortable with the drafting. Alrighty. Leyline of the Guild Pact. While I did get my butt absolutely beaten by that the other day, I don't think it's a good one for limited. So what are other ones we could pick here? Well, Inside Source is fantastic. I'm not sure it's necessarily a first pick. Soul Enervation is decent, but certainly not the best removal. Flourishing Bloomkin I've been quite happy with. Bite Down on Crime, I think, is just fantastic removal. So, I'm going to go with Bite Down on Crime, and let's see what green-based shenanigans we can get up to. Immediately past a land. The Culvert Ambusher, I think, is good. Hard-hitting question. It's also great as a one-way punch for 1 mana. Fight spell into fight spell. Or a 4/5 that is good for making them have a bad time with blockers. I think I often find in these decks I'm looking for folks to not block. So, might be the wrong move, but I think I'm going to take the removal. Person of interest if we want to go Gruul. Crowd Control Warden if we want to go green-white, but also totally doable in mono-green. Bubble Smuggler is decent, but I still haven't done Selesnya, so maybe let's go for that. Due Diligence, I like on the aggro. Pin Street Gossip. Oh, interesting. 4 mana 4/4 Vigilance actually seems fantastic. The fact that it can then also help you play out some disguise stuff seems quite good. Museum Night Watch, I also like quite a bit. Let's take the Tin Street Gossip. Speculate on red. And I think we're kind of rewarded with this Felonious Rage. Felonious Rage is a great combat trick because it lets you trade and replaces it. Lets you use stuff that you don't care about as awfully much. I do think there's an argument for the Defenestrated Phantom, but today, let us not worry with the double white pips. Suspicious Detonation. We might just be playing green-red control. If there is such a thing. Gruul control. Gruul smash. So, while we're waiting for the packs to come around, how's it going, Cholera? You're up early today, or you were here early today. How are things going? Reenact the crime. We are definitely not triple blue pip. Mask Maker, I think, is awkward. So let us go with the Crowd Control Warden number 2. I think we've got fantastic removal. We just need creatures. Delectably decent, wonderfully alliterative, and glad to hear it. Never creatures don't damage. Ooh. So, turn everything into a Feldon. Honestly, at this point, I think we just take the Maverick for a creature. Well, we can take the Rift Burst Hellion. Oh, it sounds very foghorny. Like a foghorn, I feel the need to rephrase. Okay, Thinking Cap. Sure, I guess the wrench. Yes. Around the world, around the world. People just not here for it. Can't imagine why. Oh, we finally see a makeshift binding when we are not in those colors. So, Topiary Panther, I think is good. Lockstone Eavesdropper, I also think is good. Kellen, fantastic, but we've not seen a lot of blue making it around. Our curve is really good if you pretend that this is a 2-drop. So I think we actually probably go with the Eavesdropper, something that's a little lower. Get a leg up, I think, is a fantastic trick, because we are finding that reach is very important. Not important enough to take a rope, but that said, we do have a Lamplight Phoenix, which is notably a 3-drop, and a recurrent flying threat that can block. So, I think we go with the Lamplight Phoenix. It doesn't have haste, but this level of recurrence, I think, is fantastic for mono red. So we could potentially take the Portico to help cast the Crowd Control Wardens. Offender at Large is something else that we can play on 3. I guess we are also able to play those things on 3. I think I do actually like taking the Lush Portico here, rather than another expensive creature, just so that we've got more potential options with the crowd control warden almost for free. Kylox has blue, and we're not going to be able to do a great deal with that. But Innocent Bystander is a 2-drop, so I think we go with it. Our first 2-drop, fantastic. It's playing against a Kylox Brawl deck the other day, which was quite fun. It looks like a very cool way to do not quite Storm, but something Storm-esque. Ooh, okay. I think we go with another Tin Street Gossip. Don't think, because Case of Shattered Pact doesn't actually ramp, and we are not going to be solving it. Guess I should have taken that ley line. For shame. Convenient target. Okay. I think it's the Red Herring, which is not a fantastic card, all things considered, but it is a creature that deals damage and you can play on 2, and then sacrifice, so I guess it goes well with the Suspicious Detonation. I think it actually does go quite well with Felonious Rage, depending on what they play. Double Defenestrated Phantom. Wow, okay. I think Person of Interest, but man, do we have a thick 4-slot. Quintorius. Technically splashable. I don't think we're playing any of these. I'll take Quintorius as a potential, because we do have that white land. Don't think any of those either. Hustle and Bustle. The target creature blocks. Or an Overrun. I think that's fine. Probably not going to play it. Offender at Large, okay. At least it can disguise. And Goblin Mask Maker. Again, probably not going to play it, but... Well, hello there. A 2-drop in red. That gets some additional advantage. Okay. Absolutely. Other ones we might take here. Case of the Trampled Garden, I think, is quite strong. Bulrak Clan Basher, I think, is amazing top end. I have not done IRL Magic in 4 or 5 years just because of the limitations of my pandemic situation. Do still have decks, do find it fun, 10 out of 10 would play, just don't have a lot of opportunities to. Innocent Bystander. Yeah. Just a decent piker that occasionally gets upside. Okay. Hide in Plain Sight. Top 5 cloaked. Man. Tipster is fantastic. I do want to try this out. Because there's a very reasonable chance that you do actually hit creatures off of this, which I think makes it some amazing card advantage. Probably another Bite Down on Crime. Man, we only have one quote-unquote naturally occurring 3-drop. We could take the Slime Against Humanity, fill out the curve. But I think Greenbelt Radical has treated us very well in the past. And is kind of sort of a 3-drop. Now I've got a Saskia the Unyielding deck kicking around that's just burning a hole in its deck box. Love me some big everything but blue accrue value over time stuff. I've wanted to put together a Slimefoot commander deck at some point. I think would be quite lovely. So protection and +2/+2, or the tipster. I think we go with the tipster because I think we're pretty high on non-creature. Okay, get a leg up. Undergrowth Recon. Hey, this was one of the pre-release ones that you got, yes? I do think it's lovely. I don't think it's what this deck is doing, so we go with the Monkey. Especially since we could red herring and then curve directly into Gearbane Orangutan. Turn 3 4/4, only just have to sacrifice a card. Amazing. Do not think we are a fuss and bother. We could take another Bite Down on Crime or another Tin Street Gossip. Actually, probably the Suspicious Detonation. Hey, there's that tempting rope, but we have both a flyer and a reach creature, so probably not. We'll take another Offender at Large. Hedge Whisper we can technically play, even though I don't think we probably will. Riftburst Hellion, my favorite 3-drop. Felonious Rage. And the Criminologists. Okay. So, what are we going to make out of this? Oh, why does it... Untap GG, you are fantastic for being able to display the cards more easily to people, but why are you giving me draft ratings? I do not want this. Okay, I think we probably go down the Maverick. Probably need to trim the 4 and 5 slot a bit. I think Person of Interest we're probably okay without. Man, I really want to try the Hide in Plain Sight. It's probably good. It's doing what Person of Interest is doing and getting us 2 creatures, but they can both block and we get more selection. What's our non-creature distribution like? Oh, Italian commander deck? That would be funky. Oh, and so evil, especially if you name anything to do with their commander. It is. Oh, that would be evil, yeah. Just get value anytime they cast something. Anytime they cast their commander in particular. But no, the sort of big splashy value commanders, I think, are always a great time. That's as soon as I saw it, the Sauron from the Lord of the Rings set, as if it would be from any other set, but very, very quickly made a brawl deck with that guy. Just Grixis value. Okay, so Hide in Plain Sight is essentially a creature. So we've got 5 removal spells, which might be a little much, but... Sauron from Spider-Man in the future. You know, I do not track Spider-Man all that much, but from what little I know, it does get that ridiculous, so fair play. I think we get rid of the Mask Maker when the Marvel Universe comes through. I don't keep track of timelines, but knowing nothing about Spider-Man, I wholeheartedly would believe that if you looked me dead in the eye and said that deadpan. And even now I'm half wondering if you aren't joking. So we need to make one more cut. Probably an offender at large. Riftburst Hellions are just large and in charge. These help us ramp. I like a lot of our 2-drops just so we've got something going. It might be the Red Herring. Red Herring is not great, but we also do not have a lot of low end. I think Wizards made a crossover with Marvel to make a Magic Universes Beyond set for... I have not been keeping good track of the Universes Beyond. Okay, so slight, I don't know if it's a hot take, but take time. I think the Universes Beyond stuff is fantastic. I am glad that Wizards is able to be partnering with other intellectual property. I think that's really cool. I have a lot of issues with the amount of product coming out. It's hard to keep track of and so on and so forth. I don't think that's a new one. With Universes Beyond, I have a lot of trouble with the vibes and what that sort of brings to the table by making them not all like standalone play against each other products and making them legal everywhere. I get it. I understand it. But I think the Lord of the Rings Universes Beyond worked amazingly because a lot of classic fantasy that Magic kind of plays into has a lot of influences by Tolkien. And obviously, remember the Fortnite secret layer? No, I don't. I honest to goodness have not been paying attention to it. I am aware of the Lord of the Rings one. I am aware of the Warhammer 40k one because I've got a lot of friends who are into that, even though I have not super gotten into it. And I know there's a Fallout one coming out, and I think they did a Walking Dead one at some point. Those are all the ones that I've semi-unwillingly become aware of. But, yeah, like, I'm a huge fan of The Walking Dead. It kind of bothers me that there's Walking Dead cards that just show up in Legacy and whatnot now. I mean, it's a good card. Play it if you play them. Nothing against the people who are playing them, but it's a very weird vibe to me. Whereas Lord of the Rings fits in, I think, very naturally with a lot of the sort of high fantasy aspects that a lot of the planes do. And yeah, Ravnica is like a big city, but it still has a lot of the sort of high fantasy elements that overlap better with Lord of the Rings. Whereas, yeah, I guess I'm aware of the Doctor Who one. Seeing a Dalek come down across the table when I haven't been going, hey, I'm in the mood for doing some Doctor Who and Daleks, just feels strange. So, nothing against the cards themselves. I think it's fantastic for the company. I'm overall, they do what they gotta do because I know that corporations put the thumbscrews on to make money. I feel really weird about the non-fantasy sets. Thinking Final Fantasy and to a certain degree Assassin's Creed is going to be interesting. Yeah, those I think both have... I have not actually interacted very much with Final Fantasy. Or Assassin... Man, I've been living under a rock games-wise. But from what I've seen and heard of friends rambling about the Final Fantasy franchise, even though it's very JRPG, I think it does probably fit with the rest of Magic a lot better. Assassin's Creed, I think that would be fantastic playing it with some Ixalan stuff. I think would probably feel not too out there. But we will see. We will have to see. What is this final cut gonna be? I think I was talking about the offender at large, and I think that's probably correct. I'm not sure how this is gonna pan out, but I think it will certainly be interesting. We want to get those plains out of here and go up, I think, a mountain and a forest each. And I think that will probably do us nicely. Yeah, okay. I think Jetmir actually is probably a decent one. We're technically in Naya colors. Get a cute little dino. And sure, let's have a fantastic and fancy Gruul party. All right. Let's see how this pans out for us. Cast a card that isn't actually in your hand. You'll see a version. Ooh. By Gui. Sure, I butchered that, but we're going with it. Okay. We have a 2/2 for 3 with reach. And not a lot else going on. Rule not, but hand me some. Yes, no Gruul. We shall not be eating slop porridge today. I think we probably mulligan. I think this is certainly a bit better. I suspect we probably actually ditch the... As much as I love the monkey, I think we ditch the monkey. Hope to draw it into something with disguise or a different 3-drop. I'm just a poor little innocent bystander. The Innie Bee. Okay, do not draw that 3-drop, but I do not regret shipping off the monkey as of yet. Because I do not think that would be an amazing thing for our curve, and I think these other two are going to do quite a bit more. I think we'll probably run out the Gossip, because 4/4 Vigilance I think is fantastic right now. Then we can go digging with a few more options using Hide in Plain Sight, and the Gossip can help turn things face up. Aha! It's a disguise. Well, let's see if they want to trade with our piker. You know you wanna. No? Okay. The Gossip. Oh my god, did you hear about that disguised creature the other day? Ugh. It was like so mysterious. Guess it probably, as a lizard, probably sounds a bit more sibilant, but I can't put on my somewhat flamboyant, gossipy voice and sibilance very well. But who knows? I have not personally spoken to an anthropomorphic lizard, so I'm not sure how they actually speak. I think we attack in with both here. If they double block, I think I'm probably okay with that. Because I don't think there's anything that they'll flip this up into that doesn't still get us a 2-for-1. Okay. Ah. Bounce, bounce. I think we will probably just replay the Gossip. And then next turn we can Hide in Plain Sight and either flip something up or Codebreaker. Or actually possibly disguise this out with where our hand is. Ever since Argonians from the Elder Scrolls, I always think Naga, lizards, and reptiles have that grouchy, raspy voice. That's very fair. I think to replicate that, I would probably need to go scream in a closet for a while, so I'm not going to try and imitate it, but I do not think you are wrong. I will swing in. Double block. Alright. No? Okay. So let us hide in plain sight. Okay. So, we do get 2 removal spells, which we would have loved to have in hand, but Greenbelt Radical I think is fantastic, and might as well turn a mountain into a creature. And I do think we will put out the Fugitive Codebreaker, disguised, so that we can hopefully flip it up and draw 3 cards in the near future. Will cost 5, but I think that is a doable cost for us. We might also just smash in and Greenbelt Radical, because that's very handily lethal if they don't block. And they're not going to be doing a whole lot more than dig, so they are very strapped on lands. Ooh. Oh my. So they've got green? I'm sorry, opponent. That is unfortunate. I love the sleeves, though. I assume that's sort of a... Oh no, it's a moth. I was getting sort of a Called Jaime vibe. Running away like a tax-evading gremlin with this guy. Do gremlins pay taxes? I kind of got the impression on oh, Kaladesh, there we go, that they were considered pests and vermin rather than anything that would be required to pay taxes. But I love the concept. Yeah, I think we smack in and just turn up the Greenbelt Radical, and Felonious Rage might even get us through. Okay, so hold up, we're absolutely tapping it. We turn this face up. We've still got Felonious Rage up. So that's going to be 5 against 6, so this is 6, 11. Okay, yeah, we just Felonious Rage something that isn't our Gossip. Unless it survives anyway. Do something warded in case I don't think they have any free spells. Awesome. Okay. Gruul successfully smashed. Actually, I guess technically that sounds like we smashed Gruul. We used Gruul to smash, but then I'm just developing more complex linguistic abilities than the average Gruul member seems to have, but perhaps that's propaganda and slander. Just like I have not spoken to an anthropomorphic lizard person other than in Skyrim, fair point. Is Gruul smash or pass? I mean, they talk about smashing an awful lot, and I'm not opposed to the concept. A lot of them work out. We shall keep. Also, a lot of them actually seem like surprisingly intelligent, considering that they're portrayed as kind of like, oh, yes, we will simply be Luddites and smash the state. But a lot of them are like, hey, what if we didn't destroy nature? And what if instead we, like, I don't know, tried to do more things to live alongside it? Also smash the state, but, like, you know. We are going to get countered, I somehow feel. But let us... I'm going to try running out the Hellion, because we might be able to flip it up sooner rather than later with the 10th Street Gossip, but this is going to counter and then suspect. Right? No! Repulsive Mutation! Oh, we got. Okay, well, at least they're tapped down, and they notably didn't play a land, which I like. I don't actually like. I like when people get to play Magic, but probably good for us in that situation that they stumbled. 4 colors. Wow. Okay. Well, I think I think we actually just run out the radicals of 4/4. We just need to get something on the board. And the Strider is fixing them, so I think we actually just punch it. Alright. Feeling a bit less scared at the moment. They naturaled into all 5 colors. Really? Wow. Good job. I'm mad, but I'm more impressed. I think we just try and fight them. We're not able to block. Okay. Well, then we run out the monkey defensively. A defensive monkey. So we could potentially monkey and Feloni. Oh, no. Okay. And they had that anyway, because I was like, oh, should we have not done the Fugitive Codebreaker? But I was hoping they would block with Aurelia, thinking it was kind of a freebie. Even if we get the Phoenix here, so we would need... We need our bite effect. That is not our bite effect, but it does get some card advantage. I think we actually do... No, there's... Yeah, we don't have the mana for it. It's like, oh, we might be able to get into Phoenix, but... Yep. That... be us dead. Good game. Alright, well, we ran away with the first one. Then we ran into someone playing 5 colors with very minimal fixing and just getting all 5 of them. So, luck balances out. No, that's... I don't know. I have to assume opponent has Leyline, right? That is 100% a Leyline and case deck, which, good for them. They're having fun. I'm glad they got that, but... Ugh, my heart, my soul, I think it has left my body. I love the flavor of the Orzhov. Like, man, that... Whenever I get to read Magic story that has to do with them, I'm very happy. I don't think they're good people, but the sort of, hey, we are a big church and financial institution and we don't pretend otherwise, I think is fantastic. It makes me smile. We've got Tipster into some disguise stuff. I think that's pretty decent. Especially if we get the 10th Street Gossip down. Don't somehow have mana tithe. With the list, I don't know what's in here, but if I got tithed right there, I would be upset. The Sentry. Well, I think we just run out a Gossip. And then start disguising to our heart's content. No! Don't bury our little guy. He's just a little guy. Well, okay. Second turn, same as the first. Hopefully not a whole lot worse. If they play a second Buried in the Garden, I'm just gonna move on to the country. Okay, they play a Panther. So we have up to 8 mana for disguise purposes. Which is 1 short of disguising and flipping it. But I do think we disguise it on out. And then probably hold up Felonious Rage. Man, I do not want to trade off the gossip, but I think we might have to. So, actually, let's attack in with the gossip and make them afraid. Okay, they're just gonna go for it. I like doing that while they're tapped out. It is a 2-for-1, but we do leave something behind. And we should still be able to turn up the Rift Burst Hellion. They are also Naya. Oh, and a second Hellion. We've got exactly enough to flip it up, so I think we just go for it. Alright, respectable block. They're actually playing a one-tap. Oh my goodness, okay. Oh, shoot. I forgot. I threw that token away. I feel mighty silly. Fantastically on my game today. Oh, okay, so we've got... So I could just straight up play out a second Rift Burst Hellion. Alternatively, I could Red Herring and then Crowd Control Warden. The Herring does simply die, but it does add a... yeah, I guess the Herring does just die. Oh, making amazing plays today. Yeah, should have held on to that. Should have held on to that to draw a card later on. Yeah, don't want to attack into the board. Fair enough. Man, what ways do we have to deal with the Essence of Antiquity? I have not played that card because I have not been a particular advocate for it. Guess we can try and fly over them with the Lamplight Phoenix. Suspicious Detonation for 4 damage and sort of double block it. Guess we've got options, it's gonna be a lot. Well, I guess we run out the land. 7, 8. While I would love to grow the Tipster, I think we just run out the second Hellion. Straight as a Hellion. And feel mighty awkward about what we're facing on down. Okay, they've got a bigger sentry than we do. And draw a land. Nothing to do with that, so we shall pass. Oh, and we can't even fly over anymore because of that sentry having reach. This is mighty, mighty awkward. Eavesdropper is nice. We get a clue to crack. And I think we do that right away. Because I don't think we're going to be making use of the attack anytime soon. Land. No attacks. Stalemate. Another land. Fantastic. I guess if we get our dig too deep for creatures, we've got a lot of options. Like, okay, the 211 is scary, but it's probably not what we actually need to remove right now. Codebreaker, I think, is lovely. Because we get to just draw 3 cards for free. So many lands! Oh my goodness, okay. It's like, if we get to punch the Crowd Control Warden, we might actually be able to start attacking in. Now that we actually have a defensive board that exists, but... man. Their own eavesdropper. Yep, we are both just digging for something. Okay. Also digging a lot. They don't get to crack the clue this turn. Hard-hitting question. We could use to potentially remove something. So this might sound goofy. What I'm thinking is I might... so we would need at least 4 damage if they blocked with that. Oh man, I don't think we use it. If we had something with 4 power, I think I attack in. Because then if they block with the Essence of Antiquity, we're still able to kill it. And if they block with anything else, we're getting a trade or, you know, doing a 2-for-1, but we don't have that 4 power. So, if we had that clue... so, okay, that was a reason to hold off on it, but we also probably, we wouldn't know about the hard-hitting question yet. Oh, that does tap for 2, so, okay. But yeah, if we get something with 4 power, I think we can try and make a hard-hitting question work. Oh, they got the hard-hitting question. No! Ours was just slightly smaller. I didn't want to sacrifice it. I think we double block there. They might have something, but at least we'll get a clue. Okay. Kinda hurts, but investigate. So now the 4 power doesn't work in the exact same way for like dealing with the essence, but let's draw and see what options we have. Offender at large. Can we... so we can Offender at large, so that would be 8 mana. Yes, we can. Okay. So we can kill their crowd control warden with our punch spell. So what we're going to do, we're going to disguise it out. We're going to flip it face up. We're going to target one of our 6/7s, who is then going to ask a hard-hitting question. There's part of me that wants to attack. Actually, you know what? We can attack with both of those. I think we can even attack with the Lockstone. We've got the 5/4 to try and trade with the Ferox. Okay, that is a somewhat awkward block, but I'm ultimately okay with it, I think. The double Lockstone Eavesdropper being 4/4s is going to hurt, especially since I guess one can be a 5/5. I will block 1. Okay. Their own face-down card, which I assume they can flip up immediately. And we are both down to 14 cards in library. We have been doing some digging. Crowd Control Warden. We will run that out as a 7/7 once more. And pass the turn. Naya versus Naya. They have the much wider board, we have the much bigger board. Okay. It's a 5/5 now. Nothing. Oh! One turn earlier and we just get to Zod it. Darn, okay. That's a sorcery, which is unfortunate. Man. Okay. Okay, so we could try and shoot one of their face-down creatures while it's still face down. But they can just flip it up in response. And I think trying to shoot blind is a bad idea. I'm so worried about what these are. They could get a free hit with their 2/11. Or thin their deck more. So we have drawn 13, 14. We only have 3 more lands in the deck. Oh my goodness. So we have 2 fight spells. We've got something that will dig out if we have any more creatures at this point. Goodness. Oh, okay, that's clever and cute. What horrors are you about to unleash upon us? If this is a crowd control warden, we're simply dead. Okay. We're still not doing amazingly, but... Okay. Okay. Props. That's fantastic. They got us. Fair and square. So yeah, I guess if we blocked with the offender at large, we wouldn't have been in that situation, but I think at that point they just swing with everything and kill us. That was an interesting match. I'm not sure I made the right decisions, but... Kevin 92 DB. A database full of 92 Kevins. I really don't like that Bite Down on Crime shows the cost reduced when you don't have enough collect evidence. That just bothers me for some reason. But we get a Surveil, and then an Innocent Bystander. I think we can probably make this work. I do not think we take the second 2-drop. Even though it's castable, we need to get to the land. Come on, land. Opposite of last game. Okay. Okay. This gives us options. I think we swing on in. And I think we'll do the offender at large first. The easiest to flip up, and I also think one of the ones we're most okay ditching if the worst comes to worse. We just want to rip more land. Or we want them to play an artifact that we can zot with the orangutan. Play the clue land. Play the clue land. Nah. No monkey stone rain. Delny. Uh-oh. Okay. Well, we'll attack with both. And it sticks around. Let us go, I think, the crowd control warden. One more land and we can bite down on crime. Yeesh. 2-power panharmonicon. Okay, make a buttload of detectives. And still no land. This is probably where it ends here, folks. We could try and run one of these into a 2-2 so that we could collect evidence for bite down on crime. That feels not great, though. Well, okay, if we did that for offender at large, let's swing in with both of these. They probably just block with detectives, I imagine. Oh, interesting. Double block on that one. And then we will bite down on Delany, because I'm terrified of the amount of value they can get off of that. I mean, that feels bad, but I mean, that extra detective is already just from Delany. And I'm sure they've got more things, especially in Boros. We need land. We do not block that, I don't think. Oh my. Ugh. Okay. That's where due diligence is fantastic. Would not be great on our side, but okay. Well, I think we will bite down for the full 4. And then, do we do it innocent bystander on the herring? I think so. Bystander on herring. And then I think we swing in with just the 4-1. They probably take that trade. Yep. And we don't get to investigate, unfortunately, but cleans up the board. Harried Dronesmith. Okay. We are in a bad way. Okay. That land, we could flip that up. I don't think that's going to do an awful lot. We could play out the Gearbane Orangutan, so we could double block. We don't have an artifact to sacrifice, but I think we just kill the Dronesmith so that we're not... that basically, we could play something to try and block just the Dronesmith, but then we aren't dealing with the Thopter. We attack in, and then next turn we can hopefully play out the... if we draw land... oh, I don't like shocking my face. We can hopefully do Gearbane Orangutan, and they have the Helix. Okay. Oh, that was rough. But it happens. It just means we've got time for a second draft. So that was 1 and 3. Oof. With that, our overall draft percentage is 56%, which is not too bad, but yikes. Alright. Well, let's run it on back. So, successfully drafted something other than blue-white. And yeah, look how well it went. One more. You got this. There we go. Sitting that booty down. Yup. Oh, I had to run a while back. We'll survive. We'll get through it. Haven't done Rakdos, and Judith seems fantastic. We're all on the losses together. Because you know what? If we didn't lose, other people wouldn't win. We are giving a necessary sacrifice as a public service. So, okay. I think it's Judith, right? Like, that's a huge amount of power. Yeah. Let's try it out. Make some imps. Analyze the pollen. Don't think that's where we're at. So probably something aggressive. Galvanize, I think, is decent. Meddler is good for the more aggro angle. And Informant, I think, is also fantastic. I think we'll see other Galvanizes. Clandestine Meddler is quite solid. And an uncommon, so I think we'll go with that. Don't think we probably want the Moroi. Mortipede, I think, is nice. I haven't actually really looked at Polygraph Orb. Gonna ponder it. Put 2 of them into your hand and the rest into your graveyard. Lose 2 life. Okay. And then you get the Turgid's Lantern effect. I think that is slower and grindier than we are probably going to be set up for. So let's do Extractor Confession. Kills something and triggers Judith. Because we will always have Judith, right? That's the way drafts work. You always get your powerful card that you're trying to build stuff around. Another Analyze the Pollen. Alley Assailant, I think, is fantastic, but I really thinking of the Gandalf studying me. That is indeed why I'm pondering an orb. I think the Basher. Unfortunately, my beard is not anywhere near as full as I'd like it to be, otherwise I think I could pull off that Gandalf look fantastically. At least I think it would suit my personality. I think we'll go with the Alley Assailant. Gandalf is just kind of an aspirational, grouchy old man. I love him dearly. So, steal something and suspect it. Don't think that's where we're at. Dodging a mythic. It was the one that returns lands. It's the one that you got from pre-release that I think is a fun card. I don't think it's a limited card, but I think it's going to be very fun in some like lands-based decks. But I don't think we're doing an incredible. I think you play it in limited if you are doing some sort of like Golgari self-mill dealio, but we are not that. We'll take the Piker. Repeat Offender has done fantastic for us in the past. So I've seen 4 Massacre Girls. I've only taken 3. I've now seen that the land returning mythic twice. So maybe there's just these recurrent cycles and patterns. I think I'll take the Sanguine Savior out so that I'm not thinking of it as part of our, like, immensely playable deck. Hey, we got the Shady Informant back. The numbers, Mason, what do they mean? I don't know that quote. I assume some sort of crime-solving mystery dealio. But makes sense, seeing the patterns where there aren't any. I still can't believe the 3 back-to-back Massacre Girls. Call of Duty Black Ops 1? Okay. I don't think I've ever actually played a Call of Duty game. I've mentioned that I played Battlefield when I was a lot younger, but not the modern Battlefield stuff. And I did Medal of Honor was another one, which I will say I loved the mission for storming Omaha Beach in that one because you could it had like a little landing craft portion where you could eat defense gunfire and simply die, and it did not hold back on. Yep, sometimes machine gun nests just strafe the landing craft as you're coming in, so you don't get a chance to even get on the beach. And I remember getting so frustrated with it, like, oh, how is this a fair and balanced game? I realized, man, it's actually relatively realistic in just how random it was. It gave me, I mean, it's nothing like actually being there would have been, but it was, I think, the first game that on any level made me consider some of the realities of how brutal war was when I was quite young. So I really appreciate it for that. Case of the Locked Hothouse, I don't think is worth pivoting, but it seems like a very fun card, especially in limited. But I think we will just take a cheeky little person of interest here. I don't think Reckless Detective is what we're looking for. Doppelgang? Oh, I would love to play a Doppelgang deck in Standard. Just get mighty, mighty big with it. But I think we'll probably be taking a long goodbye here. Already a very good removal spell that then additionally makes an imp. What's not to love? Push and pull. That's actually decent removal that can have some very good upside late game to finish things out. But not ready yet. We have, okay, a decent mix. Undercity Eliminator has done fantastically. Deadly Complication. Good removal that also has some additional upside for aggro. I like that. And instant or sorcery. I mean, Judith is perfect, right? Because I always end up with too many non-creature spells. See some more World War II games with a focus on South America. Oh, interesting. I am trying to think. I don't know a great deal of what was going on in South America during World War II. Because it wasn't part of the Pacific Theater. Was there a great deal of combat going on? Okay. Doesn't trigger Judith, but yeah, I think we take it. I think we're kind of Rakdos control. Operation Condor. Things that I need to look up. Operation Condor. Countries of the Southern Cone that operate from... Oh! Okay, yes. I am somewhat familiar with stuff from Operation Condor. I could not tell you specific things, but I know... It's like that... It's ringing a bell, and I know a bit about that, I believe, from when I was looking into the Contra scandal. South America, World War II. Not 11. Latin America during World War II. War caused considerable panic. Pick time. Ooh, Officious Interrogation I do want to pick up some copies of, but, I mean, set completion, doy. I think the Braggart is going to win us more games. Just big beefy boy. Okay. I knew the Panama Canal was built there. So, a lot of it. Okay, hold on. I just got to the Axis activity portion, but again, picks. I think Snarling Gorehound. Um. Mmm. And it saw some fascist movements of their own. Okay. I know a little bit about, like, Francoist Spain, but... So, and from some of the things I've seen of governments down there, I'm unsurprised that they had those movements. Okay. So, you would be interested in more of the sort of, mostly thinking about South America now due to Paradox making DLC for Hearts of Iron 4. Oh, okay. Because, yeah, I was like, I mean, hey, it does seem interesting during World War II. I'm a sucker for, like, social and economic development stuff. I playing a game that was based around, hey, we're doing city builder stuff while trying to deal with the massive ramifications of a world war happening on the other side of the globe and how that's impacting our oil markets and our sometimes unstable governments, while big foreign powers are coming in here flooding our economies with their currency, building stuff that puts us at risk. I would I would watch and or play the hell out of that. Shady Informant, technically a 3-drop. Huh? I've never actually watched one of the Purge movies, but more than watching a Purge movie, I really want to watch a legal drama of, like, the day after when they're hashing out the really weird corner cases of, like, someone threw an axe right before the Purge deadline ticked over, then it impacted the person and killed them technically after the Purge deadline. Like, is that manslaughter? Is that murder? How does that work out? Is it just simply not charged? I don't know. Relive the Past, I don't think is our jam. Slice from the Shadows, fantastic removal, but we do probably need some creatures. I suppose. We've got 14 versus 7. US lot weren't completely innocuous either, aided in the Chile. Oh, we have done so much to screw over South America. You will not hear any disagreement from that. Um, oh, no, no, no. That's I very much am aware of. The US has had its hand in a lot of things that plenty of us who are aware of it are not big fans of. It's just, doesn't get covered an awful lot in history class, unsurprisingly. Um, Probably none of these are particularly great for us. Probably the confiscation. Another officious interrogation. I don't think we're playing any of the other ones, so sure, I'll pick it up for value. Vengeful Tracker actually seems like it's got some decent upside as a bear. We'll go for it. I want to say things, but so many picks. Probably the Mortipede. Just get a 4-drop that can have some upside. Geez, this last pack is going fast. Stalker? But yeah, no, the US is very interventionist and stuff, which, on the one hand, that is a big part of why we hold relevance in the grand scheme of things, is we have invested a massive amount into our military and military infrastructure, and it's done some important things. At the same time, we've also done a lot of pretty awful things with it, which, surprise, surprise, gotta love governments. But yeah, no, I'm very aware that our hands were not clean. That's why I was mentioning looking into the Contra scandal. That was some stuff that we were doing. Man, it's been a while. It's all so tangled up because it's like, oh, was that when we were, funneling folks in to topple governments, or was that just us selling arms and weaponries to revolutionary groups that then in turn did that? Or, some of our espionage networks uh, intentionally trying to sell things on the black market for funding and to track them, and then losing them. Yeah. It is a wild, wild world in the upper echelons of some of American politics. I think this is a respectable red-black deck. I don't know how well it's going to do. We've got a lot of removal. We've also got some aggro stuff, which aggro plus removal can do well, but I'm not totally convinced. I don't think Fester Leech is great. We aren't doing a whole lot of self-mill, but Gorehound having Menace might be decent. Mask Maker I don't think is. Let's do our little split. Create. Okay. So 3 more cuts. We do have double extract. Kinda odd that Microsoft still has a multi-billion-dollar deal with the US Army for developing high-tech heads-up display helmets and whatnot. Yep. Turns out war is big business. Yeah. Don't know about that particular one, but color me unsurprised. I think Case of the Burning Masks, it's double red, and I think we've got plenty of other removal. Confiscation I do think is decent. Might be going down a Shady Informant. Yeah. Go down a Shady Informant. And then... I like flying. And it makes more flyers. So 1 more card to cut. Is it the Braggart? Are we just trying to go a little more low to the ground? It is a 5/5 that can get Menace. I really don't know. Could also be... I love the Bullrat Clan Basher, but double red could be an issue, but not necessarily by the time we're playing it. And I mean, with the deadly complications. Ooh, boy. You know what? Let's cut the Gorehound. Let's see how this works. Rakdos, I guess, Nixeltons. I think the demonic construct works. Brass knuckle sleeve, because we're gonna punch him. Sure, let's go with that. Alrighty. Second draft. Let's see where this takes us. Hopefully, my hope is that we do some of this draft and sort of run into the 11 a.m. thing, and I'm not done with it before I gotta go. Just remember there was some unrest in their ranks when it was initiated that they began working on military equipment, resulting in some firings and employees getting routed. Unsurprised. But yeah, no, that's... If you work in a large corporation, they are going to be trying to make money, and there's a lot of money in developing things for combat. Even if that makes us feel ethically icky. Yay! Oh, those are some gorgeous sleeves. Alright, we certainly would love some more land, but we've got answers to a lot of what an opponent could play. We've got a very reactive hand. Or We draw the land we need. I don't think we do the disguised one. I think we just run out the vengeful tracker. Capitalism, at ease and at large. Yes. In fairness, I think whether or not it's capitalism, states will, even if you're running as a fully socialist or communist society, which we have seen do wonderful, wonderful things in the past, they still make money. They're still acting in what is essentially a capitalist ecosystem between countries. So they're still going to contribute to that sometimes. That's kind of that whole thing of, well, you know, it's really tough to make things work fantastically when you've got, what, 197 officially recognized countries all at odds with each other? But what can you do? So, I think we just extract a confession. Kill their thing, crack in for 2. Just control the board and chip on in. Against Esper. Fair play, fair play. I'll run out the Mortipede. So we do have enough to undisguise this, but I do want to hold on until we can either double spell with it or simply hardcast, I think. Oh. How about we extract a confession? Speaking of money and such, shebang, saw that Germany recently overtook Japan as the 3rd greatest economy in the world. Interesting. Not fascinating. The defensive bounce spell. Cool, okay. I'm not massively familiar with either economy, to be perfectly honest, but I do know that Germany does a fair bit with, like, green energy and tech, so that seems like a decent sign. So if they play something particularly scary next turn, we can Complication and Offender. Or, I think we just attack with the Bullrat Clan Basher. You're skeptical about nuclear power, though? Okay. In fairness, I'm also skeptical about nuclear power, but in different ways than I think a lot of those places are. I think I'm very skeptical about fission. I think fusion is fantastic. I kind of hope the whole world is a bit skeptical of fission. Went through a phase where they closed most of their nuclear generators and substituted it with grizzly coal. No. Sad days. I think we attack in with both of these and then flip up the Basher. And they might have an answer for it. Murder. No! Okay. C'est la vie. I know that's... God, I can't remember which country. I'm terrible because I love to learn stuff. I have a very hard time placing where I learned it sometimes, and it gets very jumbled. But, ooh, okay. We could get back 2 cards and 2 creatures from our graveyard. Guess that doesn't quite do what we're looking for. I don't think so I think we just run out the Mortipede and wait for our chance. But I know that there were a number of countries that shut stuff down and like turned some of the old ones that were never used that got abandoned into like amusement parks Returning interest in going back to fission and fusion now there, though. Okay. Sick. Ooh. A Judith. I like. ITER project. I am unfamiliar. As with many things you bring up, which is lovely. ITER project. International Nuclear Fusion Research Engineering Mega Project. Lovely. I don't that's not the one that's been trying to do some stuff in France, right? Ah, that is mighty spooky. It is okay. Then that I did not know it by name, but I think that might be the one I have some familiarity with. Okay, so that's suspected. So next turn, we could get back Vengeful Tracker and the Basher, make an Imp. Okay, I think we just let this go. Oh no, are they gonna do something to Judith? No. Bouncing Judith. Ugh. Okay, well, in that case, I think we Judith and then we push the investigators. Make an Imp. The pull also would have given us lifelink, but... Make an Imp. If they have more protection, I swear. No worries. I'm doing this to have fun doing the drafts and chat with folks. Learning interesting stuff and good stuff to look at. What are they gonna do? I wouldn't be drafting and streaming if I wasn't okay with the potential for that. No! Oh, that's so miserable. Okay. Evil. Awful. Ooh. Do we have a realistic way out of this? There's so many things we need to remove at this point. Yeah, 2 bounce spells and a counter. Hey, it happens, right? Oh, and don't forget the murder. And the resurrect. No, I mean, deck looks sweet. Tapping my... This is so rude. Well, I think... I am... Okay, well, I can block like so. Keep Judith. And assign Meddler, I don't think does it. Unfortunately. Double suspect. Whee! Crundle on in, and yep, no magical creeping chill or whatnot. Alright. Well, we may end up finishing 2 drafts in one 2-ish hour session, but let's do our best. Let's rally. We've got this. Oh, hey, got quest done. Fantastic. Maybe this, you know, Judith has a friendship with Massacre Girl, right? So maybe maybe she's a secret Massacre Girl to avoid. Scraft. Okay, we've got something. We've got stuff to disguise out. We've got lands. We've got removal. Sure, this will be fine. Okay. If that was a Thraben Inspector, I was going to cry, but we might be able to survive the wrench. A Dog Walker. So I don't think we just want to flip it up next turn, so I think I'm going to Bullrat Clan Basher with the assumption that I'm going to Deadly Complication next turn. No blocks. Alrighty. So yeah, I think I Deadly Complication the Dog Walker. Oh, it's only on suspected creatures. Read the cards, Johan. There's extra text there. Ooh. In that case, I think we just run out Shady Informant. No attacks. The next turn we might Braggart. Wow, Deadly Complication is not as good as I was thinking. I think we do snap off that trade, unfortunately. We could clear their board. Clearing their board is actually probably quite good. Okay. To ya. The Reckless Detective. Okay. Tapped out. I like. So we probably swing in, flip it up if they block. They do not. So I think developing out the board a bit more. Bring out the Braggart. Blocks well. And gives us the potential opportunity to Deadly Complication. Interesting, they are attacking. Is it just to cycle? Ah! Cute! Well, glad it was not our Clan Basher that got galvanized. Orangutan. Gonna sacrifice the wrench? Yes, yes! Then we get to kill the monkey. I should not be that gleeful about it, but... Murder the monkey. No attacks. Nope. Well, pull might be able to do some gross stuff. Then we sacrifice them? Okay. Judith. Okay, 5/4 is scary. We could turn this face up to block. Don't love that. Okay, so options here. I Judith and pass, and hope they don't kill us, and then we can probably push it next turn, make an imp, and possibly flip up. We could flip up to try and trade, or we could hole for some damage. I don't think that's good. So I think we just Judith and hope for the best. We might even Judith block the Reckless Detective. I think we try blocking. This may be a terrible idea, but... Okay, it worked. Sick. And, okay, so we get to pull, destroy it, we'll make an imp, and then we get to play a land and crack back in with the Clan Basher. Actually, you know what? I think the imp is such a good blocker. We can try swinging in with both. Ooh. This is sketchy, but there we go. Okay. Got lucky with the Judith not dying there, I think. But alright. Let us sally forth. Okay. Again, yeah. Not a fantastic amount of 2-drops in this deck, but we could turn 3 the Alley Assailant one way or another. I think we'll try it. Hope we draw into a 2-drop. Don't think it's fantastically likely, but I'm very afraid of the 6 being worse in this deck. Get a land. Not the worst. Hey! Similar land preferences. So we could peek their hand. But I think we just run it out as a 2-2. Because, yeah, they draw. We're really banking on the braggart. Inside source. Alrighty. Extract a confession isn't the worst, but I think I will now confiscation. We could look at their hands, which is probably better. I like doing it for 2 cards, but I think we look at their hand and try and steal whatever's best from it. On the job. Ooh, boy. Okay. I think on the job is probably the scariest thing they've got. But this looks mighty bad in general. Yep. 2-2. We might just use that to make it a shock. Because then they're just running out a second 2-2 that isn't a detective. Yeah. I think that's okay. We know they have the combat trick, but I think we still make them use it. Because then we get... No! They don't save their thing. Alright. Well then, That was the Flourishing Bloomkin. I think we just get that before they get to ramp and make it big. Then we can braggart and hopefully go to town. Okay. We are not well off, but we are not dead off. Hull isn't going to do a fantastic amount. Okay. So they're one land off of getting case working. Put a 1/1 counter on something, I imagine. So I cannot trade in either case, so I should not block. Okay, Meddler can suspect something. We probably aren't getting a good chance to block. So, do I think what I do here is push the neighborhood. I think I Meddler so that I get the Surveil. I attack. Yeah, it doesn't untap. Ooh, I should have checked that first. I attack. I Surveil. I don't think Person of Interest gets us out of this. And then I probably push the 3/3. Try and mitigate the damage a little bit. Okay, that's going to take care of the braggart, I imagine. And then I will absolutely be blocking something here. So I'm going to block the sample collector. I assume they make it big. We will do the innocent bystander. And might as well collect evidence on this extract. We just need to... We are quite desperate. No, actually. Well, we aren't going to actually... We don't have any other reanimation spells, so it doesn't really matter. I imagine they get rid of the inspector, but I'm kinda almost okay with that. They do get to put a counter on something, but now they don't get the repeatable inside source dealio. Land, creature, and enchantments. Okay. On the bright side, we can block here and... Oh, no, we can't. They were smart. I was going to say we could get an investigate trigger, so I don't think we block in that case. Well, we can just run out the Clan Basher. I suspect it won't be enough, but we can try. Four is not 0. Okay. We pass. Very, very afraid. That has us dead on board. Do they recognize it? Or does the card in hand scare them? Fascinating. Well, we try blocking. They might still have something, but that is not intrinsically lethal. That is lethal. Alright. Well, we are 0-2? 0-2. Pretty sure. No, 1-2. Okay. Maybe our deck will magically get better in between rounds. Gorgles. Call it a comeback. That's the hope, Gunsy. How's it going for you today? Got 2 2-drops. And some 3-drop options. We would love more land. Good Friday so far. Hope the same for you. It's going relatively well. This is the second draft of the day, so it was 1-3. A little less good, but still having a good time, and that's the important bit. I really do kind of want to get rid of this, but we probably just Leering Onlooker because it blocks, and then we get rid of it in a future turn. That's a very ominous background sound. The awkward slice. So they could turn that face up next turn, maybe, and make things big. So I think let's extract. Force them to make a choice. Okay, they get rid of the disguise creep. Okay, we kill a Rift Burstalion and maintain status quo while fervently hoping for a land. Shelly will cost after she rotates out a standard? Good question. I don't actually even know what she costs. I haven't been doing paper stuff for a long time, so I don't know what she costs right now. Oh, sorry, one moment. 2 cards in hand, Cerebral Confiscation. I mean, like, you gotta. She's 80 right now? Ugh. Okay, I'm happy getting rid of those. I'm trying to think if she sees play in a lot of other formats. I mean, she's a pretty good body with a fairly relevant upside, but I suspect in formats with a deeper card pool, she's probably just not as good. Yeah, I know a lot of standard cards tank pretty quickly. I don't think she's a Ledger Shredder. I don't think she's going to be seeing massive amounts of play in other formats, so don't know. I do suspect she will drop, though. Okay, so we've got a 1-3 kinda. Might still see play in Pioneer. Okay, that's fair. I just figured that a Lightning Axe in a Phoenix deck, which I know is relatively big in that, is going to be taking care of business. I do think we just slice it. It's the only real unknown quantity on their board. They're on 4 lands and top decking. We're taking 2 a turn. Granite Witness, okay, glad we got that. We're in this very awkward spot where we are behind on board, and we can't double spell yet, but we're not too afraid of what they've got going on at the exact moment. Oh, would have loved a land. Would really love a land. I think we run out the Shady Informant. It can block their 1-3, and then if we don't get anything else next turn, we can flip it up, eat one of the 1-3s, and it eventually gets to Zot the Market Phantom. Market Watch Phantom. Okay. Oh, and they do get to make that flip. But I do think I still just try and chump. Next turn, I either get to Judith, blow something up, or, yeah. I think we Judith, try and get some value. We need to get back in the game. She can block a lot of the stuff quite well, hopefully. Yes! Yes! I mean, they could draw into a combat trick, but at least it's limiting their options a bit more. Okay. We can deal with this. So I think we want to get imps and blockers, so I'm going to Deadly Complication, destroy a creature. I think, let's destroy their reach creature, because I think we will get to deal 2 damage with an imp or our informant at some point here. And then that doesn't actually discount it an awful lot, so I think we just run out the bystander. And then hold. This also is not going to get flying anywhere near as much because of the case of the Gateway Express, as they need to play something that would normally have 1 power. Watchdog is intimidating, but these imps block so well. Okay, those bats are tapped, which is unfortunate. We can't... okay, so we do not have a double spelling option here. And we are probably going to get attacked big next turn. So I think we just run out the Stalker, because it's big enough to eat some stuff. And hold. Okay. Oh, yeah, they're flooding, but look, man. It happens. We've had it happen to us. Part of the game. Okay. Whew, we get to get rid of the watchdog. And make an imp. Okay. They could have stuck it out, but yeah, we were in a much better position. Okay. 2 and 2. So now we go 2 and 3, and then tomorrow we go 3 and 3. That's the pattern, right? So we'll do this last game. Unless it's like a 2-minute match. And we win. I think it will be probably last Magic game for the day. But we will find out. Wayward Moggy. I really like that. That's kind of cute. I like thinking of the little Mog goblins, but like one's named Maggie. This is another very reactive hand. And I'm not sure if that's good enough in this format. But I think we try. I've been very hesitant to mulligan with this, which might be part of why I'm doing so poorly. It might be something where, because we have a lot of interaction, I just aggressively mulligan for our proactive stuff, but we are on the draw. Opponent thinking. Bravestone Strider. I think we're okay with that. They equip it. We can just long goodbye, and we've wasted a turn of theirs. And if not, we just hit something else, probably. Okay, I guess it is a fixer. Okay, I'm way happier hitting the disguised creature this turn. And then we get to Clandestine Meddler. Sanguine Savior. Sick. Fantastic. Love it. We are secretly a mono black deck, apparently. Yep. I say, as I draw a mountain. But I think we do suspect. And then next turn we could double extract, or just run out a Mortipede. I do like having the extract with the Mortipede. That's one of our ways to actually get it lifelinky. And Menacey. Menace. Scoundrel. Oh, right, it is suspect an other creature. Goofy of me. Fascinating. Okay. So are they going to whip the rope to it? Maybe? I think I attack. See how they respond. I have sent you a vampire, please respond. Okay. Then we Mortipede. I am very okay trading a 3-drop for a 4-drop with Death Touch. I'm confused. Do they have a reanimation spell they really want to use? Okay. They can force it to block. Double extract swing? I mean, it's not the most efficient, and it kind of runs us out of gas, but... I guess we could, Oh, that's a question. So we definitely extract. Do we collect evidence and just get the lifelink? I suspect probably not. Because I don't think 4 life points is worth, because where we're at, we could potentially pull. Although I guess their graveyard would be better to pull from. Okay. They called a surprise witness. It's a 3/3. But we can deadly complication it. Is it suspected? No. Can't be blocked. Why does it have the can't be blocked? Oh, can't be blocked by more than one creature. I forgot Rope did that. Okay. Well, we will destroy it. And hope that we draw Judith or some other big old boy. Unless they draw something, in which case we want removal. Isn't that the way of things? Okay. We would love removal or some such, but no such luck. Alright. We do get something that can still crack in, and we could double block, although I assume they rope it on up. But, I mean, we've still got another Deadly Complication and a Slice, I believe. So, like, we've got options for dealing with this. Is that for the rope? No. Interesting. Careful tapping. I assume making sure they have a combat trick up? No. Yes, to tap, so we can't double block. Okay. No blocks. You got us. Innocent Bystander is not what we were really hoping for. But I do think in that case we will attack with both of these. And run out Innocent Bystander, which does give us options to double block the Vigilante. Inspector. But I assume they equip Rope. They probably equip it to the Granite Witness, though. No. I think we block Get a Clue, Crack a Clue. I would have expected on the Granite Witness so that they could block more effectively. Interesting. I still don't think we're winning, but it's very much a, are you winning, son? No. No, we're not. Well, Oakley dokley. What are our options here? So we could Bolrac Clan Basher, which at present could block and trade with the Vigilante. Daring Onlooker lets us jump, and then we can exile to trigger the Mortipede for lifelink. But I think we run out the Basher. We threaten to trade. It's tough. Even tougher if they bury. Getting the Mortipede so we can't lifelink. Okay. That actually makes a fantastic amount of sense. Shady Informant. Actually, we can run out both of those, can't we? So... And it can trade, so I think we actually attack with Bolrac Clan Basher. Because I suspect they block. And if they do, that really shuts down their aggression a fair bit. Unless they block with the Vigilante, but then that's just, we're less afraid of a combat trick happening. Daring Onlooker. And I do think we run out the Informant. Even though that prevents us from getting the Onlooker bats this turn. Okay, rope it on up. But this gives us much better attacks back. Because now Shady Informant, although I guess they could just block with that, which would be unfortunate. So I was not correct in my statement. Oh shoot, and Gravestone Strider can exile. I was not thinking about that. I looked at it, I saw it, and I didn't think about the actual ramifications. Well, let's attack in with Shady Informant. I assume they block, we trade. Yep. So, we really need a removal spell. But yeah, no. Absolutely should have saved it, and then I guess we couldn't have done it. They just wouldn't have used that. So we were probably doomed anyway. Well, okay. We simply die to the Granite Witness, so we do x equals 3, we kill the Witness, we attack in for 2, we chump with the 2/2, and hope we draw our other deadly complication. Or I guess a pull could kill them. So, I think we've got 2 hits that make us feel happy next turn. And we've got plenty of chump blockers that will let us continue for a while. Detonation would make us cry, because that doesn't actually do much of anything. So does confiscation. Yeah, we've got... Okay. Makes sense to try and dig deeper. But yeah, pull, we could get the Granite Witness and the Savior, and I think that would... So we are dead, but hey! At least we can see what they've got. 2 lands? Essentially. Well, attack in from Hell's Heart. Okay. We did what we could and did not get there. It happens. That's magic, baby. But we go through highs, we go through lows. So that is a 2 and 3 run following a 1 and 3 run. But, well, again, as I was saying, we did draft Judith, who's friends with Massacre Girl, and we've seen how Massacre Girl luck plays out. So, it happens. But I still had fun. Got to try out some different things in Murders at Karlov Manor. So, we're learning what does and doesn't work. I do think Red-Black has a lot of potential. It's got very good removal. I think we just really didn't have the creature quality to get there. And the Gruul deck, man, I don't even know what was up with that Gruul deck. I think that one was fine. I think I probably just made poor mulligan decisions. But we're learning, we're having fun, we're having a blast. So, thank you all for tuning in. It's been a great and fantastic time. I will be back later at around 2 p.m. PST playing some Hades, which is fully spoiled. I've completed the main story, but now I'm just having fun getting in some runs. So, thank you for watching. Have a fantastic rest of your day if I don't see you again. Bye!